A rock slide in Polk County had Department of Transportation crews working overtime this morning. Good evening and thanks for watching News Channel 9 at 5:30. I'm Latricia Thomas.
And I'm Josh Rowe. TDOT crews were called around 4 this morning, have been clearing the rocks since then. News Channel 9's Betsy Golden tells us about the dangers on Highway 64. Betsy.
Well, good evening. That's right. Crews had to wait several hours until the proper equipment arrived on the site of the rock slide. So until then, they talked with us about the dangers of these slides because of their unpredictable nature. For people who drive Highway 64, the curves of the road, the weather, and the possible rock slides are never far from mind.
Well, I've been traveling the road for several years.
Terry Rose has grown up on these roads, and he's also driven them as a professional driver.
It is very dangerous. When I drove it in an 18-wheeler, we kept our CBs on and communicated with the other drivers coming down the river to let them know when we were actually going to be passing each other in curves and things like that.
Around 4 this morning, the Polk County Sheriff's Office called the Tennessee Department of Transportation to tell them of a rock slide. It happened near Greasy Creek Road, blocking both sides of the road.
It's just the geography of the area. There are certain mountainous roads that are prone to sliding.
The rock came off the cliff here and smashed right into the guardrail. Castile tells us these rails are buried 44 inches into the earth.
Frequently, rock slides happen when the temperature changes. In the wintertime, you'll have a freeze, and then stuff will thaw out. You get rain, it'll get in the crevices, and when it freezes, it expands and separates the rock, and then it thaws out.
Adam Castile is the operations district supervisor with TDOT. He's been out on the scene since before 5 a.m. The crews had to wait until proper equipment was brought in from Cleveland. Then they could break up the rock, discard it without getting it into the water. And since last November, he's seen 6 to 7 rock slides.
It's extremely common for something to fall off of these mountains.
Now, both lanes of the road just opened about 30 minutes ago at 5 o'clock, and coming up at 6, we'll tell you how TDOT is already preparing for the winter months. Josh?
Betsy, thanks. For more on the rock slide, we now go to Chief Meteorologist David Glenn. A lot of folks cleaning up a lot of things around the area this morning.
Yeah, we had tornadic storms, and of course in Polk County it was from the heavy rain last night.
Right.
And it's compounded by the fact that it's not just raining heavily right there in Polk County, it's also coming down the mountain. So it's added there. If you've ever driven along 64 during a heavy rain, some white knuckle driving, because it's very nervous. You think you see all the water cascading, there could be rock slides. But as a TDOT official mentioned as well, in the wintertime, it can be just as bad or help set up the fact that we see these slides more easily, because when you get the freeze-thaw effect, it loosens the rocks from between each other. Water gets in there heavily, forces those rocks out. So unfortunately, it's just a byproduct of living where we live with the conditions that we have.
All right. A problem road for sure.
That's true.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, David.